I am in a third grade class this semester. When I did my tutorial lesson, we were learning about perimeter and area in the math class. I focused my attention on one of the students' understanding of the concept of perimeter. This student usually has difficulty understanding math concepts in her math class. The first examples you see on the screen now are what I had created for the student to solve from with little to no instruction given. See the type of paper I had utilized for this concept? This type of paper had helped the student tremendously when figuring out the perimeter of the shape. This is because the student could count the units on each side and add up the sides to find the solution. Then you can now see how I am challenging the student's previous knowledge about perimeter by taking away the grid paper. This was done with no instruction. The student held on to the addition concept of perimeter, as you can see, but since I had only put the length and width on one side, on one portion of the sides that made up the shape, the student was unable to connect the numbers on those sides to the sides with no numbers. Then I took a look into how she figured out the problems without instruction and geared it into how I would teach the student about figuring out the perimeter without graph paper. I told my student that when you only add the sides that you have numbers for, you are only finding the perimeter for half of the shape. So I also said that you could double their answers, or they could match the number sides. As you can see here, after I taught the student how perimeter is determined, she understood how to set up the problem that works for her way of thinking, and she successfully answered these problems. This student was using manipulatives to help count out the larger numbers that had been placed for the side lengths. The student was counting larger numbers and was losing track of these numbers when she came to adding the different sides up. So I drew out a portion of the addition problem with blocks. The student then saw that 6 plus 8 equals 14, and that they need to carry the 1 over to the tens place of the addition problem.